Hello, everyone. I am Jolie Wilson, a multi-dimensional channel. And what that means is that I speak to collectives, beings, guides in spirit that help me answer questions and bring through fifth dimensional and above frequencies, resonances, and understanding so that we can collectively, those of us here for it, co-create the new earth. What is the new earth? The new earth is this planet returned back to unity, consciousness, and peace. It's how I remember this planet from some lives in ancient civilizations and some even before that. I personally, my soul has been coming to this planet over and over and over, helping to return us back into these higher vibrational resonances. And right now, most of the 8 billion souls on this planet are living in what one might call the third dimension. That third dimension on Earth is and was an experiment that is now completing and coming to an end. And why we're seeing so much chaos, division, and confusion in the world is we are currently moving through fourth dimension consciousness on our way to the fifth dimension and beyond. And there are organizations and institutions on this planet that are and have been trying to influence humanity, thus trying to control humanity for what I've been told is about 200,000 years. That is coming to an end, as we're seeing so prominently in the headlines and the news or whatever it is that you tune into. Now, that said, there is an incredible amount of distortion. What is distortion? Distortion is stories, beliefs, perspectives, what some people feel is truth, but maybe they are not in your best interest. Maybe those narratives create fear, worry, confusion, keeping you in like addictive patterns of what's next, who are we fighting, there's a spiritual war to fight, and you are welcome to live in those types of belief systems if you want to, and you don't have to. There are much more beautiful, peaceful, healing, loving, resonant ways to attune your energy to higher vibrations. So I want to talk to you just a little bit about that. I had a great example this morning. I had posted a reel that was talking just very generally about the draconian reptilian consciousnesses. If you've ever heard of that, a lot of people have, that might be new to you. And I was also even talking about dragons and how we have demonized those over the years, with the knight going to the cave to slay the dragon. And really, all of this was when humanity cut the cord with the heart, and then the distortion amplified on the planet, and then control systems came in, and it just kept going and going and going until now we have some really dark, and I'm just gonna say the word evil, happening on this planet. And I'm here to help release that, to bring that back home to source, to help us reconnect more deeply to the heart. So in posting that reel, I was basically saying that the reptilian, draconian energies, consciousness, beings, if you will, they helped create the architecture and the scaffolding of what we see on Earth, like the structure, the laws, the governing. We felt that we needed that at some point. And even though that is a consciousness that does not really tune into the energy of love so much and doesn't really have the empathy piece, at the same time, they're not actually inherently dark, bad, or evil. So I was just kind of like touching on that in the video. And then someone who I greatly care for and respect, and also not in a rude way, he mentioned in the comments, I hope you can't hear that truck beeping and going backwards, but I always feel like everything's like something. It's like a signal coming through. Anyway, so he mentioned in the comments, maybe you haven't heard of, or maybe you don't believe in, and he told me, you know, a couple things that was coming from the Gnostic, if I say that right, like texts and stories, and it had to do with like Sophia and Lilith and these, I guess, monster kind of creatures that were created. And so I really want to try to explain this in the most coherent, easy to understand way that I can. So I hope that I will succeed. But basically, I'm really not interested too much in ancient stories of the past, because ultimately everything that we hear, every story, everything that we've been told about the astral wars, the inverse matrix, demons and entities, I needed a long time to fully understand that. I knew that they didn't exist for me, but I wasn't fully sure why, and I wasn't sure if they actually did or didn't exist, or how they could exist for someone else but not for me. And I think that I finally have that full clarity embodied now. I know that I've been on this planet and I have been caught up in shadow networks. I recently had a past life regression journey that was so interesting for a lot of reasons. And in this particular journey, we were taken down a hallway of mirrors representing our past lives. And for the first time ever, at the very end, at the very back right, there were these 3 shadowy mirrors. And in these mirrors, I saw dark shadows of 3 little children. And even I can see them right now. It was like maybe one was 5 or 6, one maybe was 3 or 4, one was in the infantile stages. I'm not even completely sure that they were male or female, because these are souls, and I also don't fully really need to know. So without going down the rabbit of holes of what happened to me in those lifetimes, because I already kind of know and have an idea, and it's just not really something I need to relive or explore, I was able to integrate them back home. It was like they were, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so emotional. I'm remembering when my little one, my youngest one, would put his hands up in the air and he would say, hold you, hold you. Maybe some of you have seen a child do this before, because they don't yet know hold me, because they're learning, and they just hear, do you want me to hold you? And so they say, hold you, when they want you to pick them up. Oh my gosh, such precious memories. But I'm also feeling emotional because of the story I'm telling you about. Like, this is how you know some of this stuff is real, is when it evokes such deep embodied emotions. So these 3 little beings, but even though I'm saying that, it wasn't urgent. They were not like, save me, I'm about to get harmed. These are little pieces of my soul that have been kind of in these stasis-like parts of the multiverse. Don't get me started. I'm not always great at explaining everything, because I'm not that great at math and sacred geometry, which is so hilarious, because all my guides keep saying is, we're really encouraging you to move into the sacred geometry, sacred mathematics space, like architect stuff. And I'm like, you know, I'm not great at that, right? Which I know is a story that I tell myself on the daily. And you know what? I'm okay with that being a story, because I'm really good at a lot of things. And I don't mind that I believe that I'm not great at math. But anyway, So I just want to preface that these little beings weren't like, oh my gosh, I'm in terror, I'm in torment, save me. It was just like, here we are, hold me, integrate me, bring me home. And so I brought them into my heart, and I've done this more than once, so I keep going back. Like right now, I just keep like bringing them in, because healing is not a straight line. Healing is a spiral, and it's not a flat spiral, it's actually a cone that spirals down more and more and more and more and more until the whole thing is integrated. So that's how healing works, is a lot of times we have to revisit, and we don't always just get it all in a moment or a day. It's a process, right? Anyway, so I brought them home, and I've been doing that since. And then yesterday, I was like, okay, what's going on? So I'm about to talk about some darkness, and I'm really sorry if this is triggering or disturbing. I really avoid talking about these things, but it's just so prominent in what we see in the headlines and social media and the news. So I literally was only getting on TikTok for a brief moment to see like a comment that had come through to maybe respond or whatever. And you know, if you open some of these social apps, your feed is there and something just starts playing, because I've really been abstaining from looking at social media and the news because of all the distortion, which I'm going to circle back around with shortly. So I lost my train of thought for a moment. Right. So the TikTok video that was playing, that's why I lost my train of thought, because I don't want to lock on to these things. I don't latch onto it. I just let it be a very light something in my field, but it's not close. It's not attaching. I'm not allowing these in my body, because I've already transmuted that. I've already moved through 3D and 4D, and I'm living in the 5th dimension and above while incarnated on a 3rd dimensional, mostly planet. That's why sometimes my world shape shifts. I don't see reality like most people do. I literally see things now with my eyes open. Specifically, if I'm focusing on it, I can see into like other dimensions, and I'm now often seeing like blue beings and all kinds of really beautiful star beings. But anyway, so what was playing was an Epstein survivor, and I've seen her before, and I just, wow, her level of healing, and I don't even know what to call it, her ability to speak of these things and what she has healed is so admirable. And to make a real long story short, she was talking about being caught up in the trafficking, that human sacrifices would happen. This is really awful. Again, I'm sorry. But while sacrificing someone, they would tell them that you have to invite in the demons and entities, whatever that world is, or we're going to kill this person over here. So they would use guilt, shame, the heart, compassion to make these people they were sacrificing bring in all of this very, very dark evil from these like astral planes that do technically exist. So I'm just like, okay, I still don't get it. I know that I'm immune. I know that I am not a frequency match for any of that stuff. I know that it has happened to me in past lives, which is what I saw in those mirrors, and there's a second part to that story as well. But why does this not exist for me, but it does for others? Well, it just all goes back to sovereignty and divine will, but people can be tricked. They can be manipulated into believing things. So even if they go to these inverse matrix type realms, they're still not caught or trapped or any of those things forever. This is just all part of the 3D experiment that is ending. So, circling back, I then somehow, through this understanding and knowledge, I went back to those mirrors, and those 3 mirrors of those 3 lives and those 3 children had come together as one. And I know that I'm protected. I can't explain it, I can't prove it. It's just like something I just know from the depths of my being. So I went in front of the mirror, and I knew that it was like only what I invite through is allowed, and it's just a perfect filter. And so I like opened this portal into that inverse matrix realm, and children started pouring through. I don't even know how many. I just did this once yesterday, and once again, it's not urgent. Time is a concept. Time doesn't actually exist. There is no past and no future. Everything is happening now. So there is actually no urgency in doing this work. And same as before, these little children, it wasn't, oh my gosh, save as many of us as fast as possible, but I opened the portal and I would just bring them to my heart and then set them down, and bring them to my heart and set them down, and they were safe. So I'm literally helping souls return back to safety. It's so hard to explain. But they aren't trapped indefinitely because time doesn't exist. Does this make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. I hope so. Anyway, that was just so profound for me, and I just had so many tears in doing that. And so I frequently am working in these realms. But the whole real point of this conversation is to help you understand that the 3D thoughts and perspectives and beliefs, I talked about this in the video I posted, I believe, on Friday. I just mentioned it briefly. But that 3D is built on structure, systems, division, us versus them, this group, that group, Republicans, Democrats, male, female, this race, that gender, all of these different, labels that create separation. This color, that's a dog, that's a cat, this is an apple, but that's an orange. You get where I'm going? It's all this block-like separation, structure, scaffolding, la-di-da-di-da. And most people don't understand this. So then I see, and I've pretty much stopped, but I see these really beautiful channelers, psychics, whatever you want to call all of us people, and I just tune in for a second as to what they're talking about, and I'm just like, you're just feeding the fears and the division and the separations when you start talking about Draco reptilians as this negative, unfeeling, lacking empathetic consciousness, and these astral wars and these inverse matrices and demons and entities. You are feeding that timeline. You are amplifying that timeline, thus you are making it so. Retract your energy. It's just like meditation. It's just like laying in the grass and watching the clouds go by. That's what we do with the mind. We step back. We become the conscious witness and observer of the thoughts. The clouds are the thoughts floating by. We don't jump on every cloud and attach and buy into it and get our nervous system out of whack. And I feel like that's kind of what everybody's doing. Everyone's confused. People are scared. We're starting to see real system breakdowns and anomalies and strange things. Like just this week, I was invited onto a psychic network call to be a psychic for this group for an hour, and right before the call, the host is like, I'm sorry, the power is out in California. So it was just kind of really interesting and hilarious how the call ended up working out, and it was all fine, but that was kind of a glitch. I just posted something on Substack this morning, and when I was posting it, there was only one image, and when it posted, the image was a second image was just there, And it just seems like it's happening a lot, where we're seeing like actual real glitches and system failures, and people are finally rising up and demanding truth and transparency. It's just really, really interesting. But you still have a choice. Your frequency is in your belief system, is what determines your reality. That's how Earth is. You are in a hologram of your own creation, of your own making. You are a soul, a spirit, and you're still in the spirit world having a human experience, but just part of you, almost like a fractal of you. Meanwhile, your soul is doing other things. You're living other lives right now. You're doing things from spirit. That's why I can connect to my future. Future doesn't really exist, but I can connect to my future lives, the versions of me that are star beings, that are on the Galactic Council. I can connect to those now because I believe that I can, and thus it is given. This is a free will planet. You have complete sovereignty. No one and no thing can control you or harvest your energy unless you give permission. Now, most people are unconscious of this, and they're living in deep fear, worry, shame, regret. And yes, living in those vibrations with no awareness does make you susceptible to the things that you don't want, because you are unconsciously amplifying that reality, that belief system, that timeline with your energy. So it is time to step back and unplug. It is time to return to peace. Even if I say it, anything that draws you into worry or fear or us versus them or any of that stuff, just take a breath and remember you have a choice. Remember that you are sovereign. I hope this helps. I hope I was able to share all those things succinctly enough for you. And my wish is just for all of us to understand these choices, because the reality I've been living in lately is so deeply fulfilling. I am just in states of joy and love and optimism and beauty and divinity and the light of source constantly. I go about my day working and I just giggle now. It is so light. It is so freeing. And I believe that you too are part of this change. Breathe, smile, dance, play, have a little more fun. Do something adventurous, something outside the box this week. I hope you have an amazing April. Pardon my cat's back there. I hope you have an amazing April. And if you haven't already joined my Substack membership, I'd love to have you there. And also, I'd love for you to book a reading. I've been really busy lately. So thank you, everyone who's been booking these abundance of readings. I even have single questions that you can ask for a really affordable investment. Sometimes I have people ask me those weekly as ongoing support in their journey. You can't ask too much, especially when it's in the 5th dimension and above. It just helps you restructure, retrain your thoughts, and just live in higher resonances. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.